Let's hear from Newcastle manager now, Eddie Howe, speaking to Sam Atterface.
Coming here is never easy, but how much of a setback was that first deflected goal?
Yeah, I think when you come here, you know you're going to not have the ball for periods of the game. I think even the most positive person in the world knows that they're going to have good possession and you're going to have to defend well and get a slice of luck when the big moments come, and we didn't get that today. But I always think that's self-inflicted. I don't think we can look at the gods and blame them. I think we have to take responsibility ourselves. I didn't think there was a lot wrong with aspects of our performance today. We tried to press them high, we tried to be really aggressive and disrupt their rhythm, and I felt at times we did. Probably the biggest disappointment was some of our attacking play when we did have some really good moments and transition opportunities. Our quality was missing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because you fashioned opportunities, only one shot on target. What do you think held you back in those circumstances? Because there were one or two opportunities where you might have on a different day fashioned something.
Yeah, I think there was more than that. I think a lot of our final pass was wrong, our decision making was wrong, our technical delivery was wrong. Probably highlighted by the big moment when it was 2-0 and Alex goes through, and of course the conditions weren't easy today, especially when the rain came at the end, but you still back the quality of the players to deliver better in those key moments. And it's frustrating because you're not going to get a lot of the ball, as I said at the start, so when you do have your moments you really need to grab them.
You changed the shape today. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, I knew when the draw came out that I sort of in my head was we wanted to do something different for this game. We wanted to prepare individually for it, and the thinking really was to try and get two strikers playing together, to try and give them a problem as in Manchester City, and to try and use pace to hurt them in behind. And I do think there were moments where that did show, but probably not enough.
Were you hampered by the injuries to Tino Livramento and obviously Kieran Trippier?
Yeah, you could keep going there. I think there's a longer list behind that. But yeah, of course, you're hampered when you lose your best players. And it's been a consistent theme for us this season. And I think no doubt we've missed those players and the other ones that are longer term. And I think you can see that today, really. I think the lads are giving everything, but we're not quite right.
And no one could argue against the fact that you've been unfortunate, not only just with the injuries, but some of the draws that you've been handed as well. And then in circumstances where, I'm talking about Paris here, big decisions have gone against you as well. But you're now in a situation where you're out of both of the cups, obviously, and you're fighting to sort of get into one of those places in Europe next year. How do you refocus in this international break?
Well, I think the break's come at a good time for us because I think we can digest this result and we set up the last 10 games. And yeah, it's been a season where very, very strange. The cup competitions especially could have been very different, but they've gone against us. All the big moments have gone against us, and I always think, like I said earlier, there's no part of me that feels sorry for ourselves or why are these things happening to us. We just have to improve and we have to get better, and we have to take responsibility for it ourselves. And yeah, the cup draws have been tough, but we're in the biggest competitions, and that's always how it's going to be.
Yeah, that was Eddie Howe speaking to Sam Matterface. No Newcastle fans are phoning us up, Gabs, at the moment.
Do you know what I mean?
No, we're very quiet. 10th in the table, knocked out of Champions League, knocked out today in the FA Cup, nowhere near good enough this season. Where are you?
But
where's the Newcastle fans?
When they're in the Champions League and they're
Exactly.
playing Dortmund and PSG,
Full
they're
switchboard.
chirpy,
Full
phoning
switchboard.
in.
Don't want to phone in when their team's in the mud.
Nowhere to be seen.
Right.
Newcastle fans, come on, let's have a chat. Tell us the problem. What's happening? What's going on?
We've got one. He's phoned us up. Jack.
Oh, no.
All right, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
Hello?
Yeah. Great club, Newcastle, mate. Great club.
Big club.
What's happening, Jack?
Obviously, Eddie Howe should be sacked, to be honest.
Oh, God. What?
I think next season, if we want to keep on.
Oh, his reception's no good. Jack, can we try and... Jack, we're going to phone you back, yeah? We'll come back to you. I want to get him on. He wants to see Eddie Howe.
I don't think he's going to get sacked. I think they've got to have a good end of the season, and I think start of next season, if they don't have the first 10 games, if they're struggling again, I think he'll go. But I don't think they'll sack him in the summer.
Be interesting. Let's go to the Six Nations, though. Watching France versus England is Alfie Reynolds.
35.5 minutes gone, clock ticking towards half-time. France 13, England 3. It has been an error-strewn and sloppy performance so far from England. And as I'm speaking, Thomas Ramos has just kicked his third penalty of the half. So that's France 16, England 3. 18 missed tackles so far in this first half from England. France lead, as I say, through the Thomas Ramos penalties, and also Nolan Lagarec scored a sensational try. France going from one end to the other. A very, very happy French crowd in Lyon. From an England perspective, it is a long way off what we saw in them beating Ireland at Twickenham last weekend. 36 minutes on the clock. It's France 16, England 3.
We got Jack back, the Newcastle fan. Right, Jack?
Hello, Jack.
Hello.
Yeah, your reception's not great, mate. I know you're driving back from the game. Talking about Eddie Howe being sacked. I mean, really, now?
Yeah, I think we need to get Europe for next season to keep hold of House.
Oh, I see.
I think
we'll let him go because his reception's no good.
I think there's a clip of Pep sort of saying to Eddie Howe, can't rely on that, but you don't normally play like this, because they play three centre halves, the Shells, Shiar and Botman, Dan Burn and Murphy as well, wing backs. I feel like you start doing that, don't you, when you're struggling?
Yeah.
You know, for results. You start like, you know what, let's play three centre halves, 5 at the back. When you're playing against City, it doesn't matter, mate.
No.
And you're playing in a FA Cup quarter final. You know, go 4-3-3, your usual formation.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Newcastle fans aren't happy, but I still believe that he won't get the sack this season.
I don't think he'll be Newcastle manager by
October
next year. October, I don't think he'll be Newcastle
Who do you reckon
manager.
would be the favourite to get it?
Jose Mourinho.
Really?
Give it to Mourinho. He's there.
The baggage that he's got, Jamie.
Come on, mate. What baggage? What are we talking about? He's one of the greatest managers
the
ever.
baggage he brings.
What baggage?
He's high maintenance.
Yeah, but it's Newcastle. Come on, mate. I'm telling you.
We get Mourinho,
He was in Saudi the other day at that boxing, and I'm sat there thinking...
Yeah, you're right.
There's
something going on.
There's conversations going on. There must be. Either he's going to Saudi or he's going to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would Jose Mourinho be there?
Yeah.
You know, he ain't going to just go and watch
I
boxing
do think,
in Saudi
though,
Arabia.
like, the Saudis that own Newcastle are not going to be happy with this season. I mean, 15 points off Aston Villa in 4th place, 15 points off the Champions League places. It's not good enough, is it?
No.
You know, they've got a talented squad of players. Yes, injury problems, but the players that they've got, I mean, it's not good enough. And Newcastle fans, if you got some signal, give us a call.
Yeah.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.